Baby, you said something about me having a baby out of wedlock. I said something about you sinning and having gluten and obesity. So now we on the same page.
No, I like this.
So we're on the same page. Oh, did you meet your bitch tonight?
The first time I heard being a child of God, I heard about you.
See, you always cutting the women off, but you never let us finish. But you want us to let you finish. And I don't like the way you told all these ladies to shut the fuck up earlier. That was rude as fuck. You gonna get views, my
boy. But shorty, what I'll tell you is this. Like,
what?
If I was offended by anything you said, I get the brakes beat off you here. I get a bitch beat the brakes off you here. Stop playing with me.
Oh, please do.
Stop playing with me here.
Yo, that's not that's not holy.
Stop playing with me.
That's not holy. That's not holy.
Hey, listen, in the name of God, I'm gonna beat.
That's not holy. That's not holy.
I don't know what shorty was reaching for in her bag with a Sparta dumbass in here and got a pack off her. Fuck that.
Move to the left.
Okay.
Move to the left. I said move to the left. Yo, nigga, I said move to the left. Now. All right. You too stupid. What the fuck you doing? Move to the left.
This is the right though.
Everybody get to the fucking left. All right. If bullets come down this way, I ain't getting nobody fucking hurt.
At the end of the day, it's nothing that I could do about it. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Like, I went through all of this shit and paid all of this money, and so she offered me. So when I told her, after she uncovered my breast or whatever, and my reaction to it, she didn't say sorry. Like, there was no remorse, like nothing. She didn't even care. They offered me, out of $9,000 that I paid, they offered me $2,000 back and a non-disclosure agreement. She wanted me to sign a non-disclosure agreement stating that I won't sue her, and I won't post about it on social media. So I told her, no, you can keep your money. That's not enough. Like, it's going to cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. It's going to cost me thousands of dollars to fix this. Like, y'all, like, look at this. Like, I'm a dancer. Like, this lady just ruined my life. Like, how am I supposed to work with my breast looking like this?
Como pra fora. Oh, don't move. Don't scare. Don't. Okay. Let me go. I slap her ass down to the motherfucking ground. On toes. Girl, you better not fucking touch me. Oh, baby. Oh, that's a man, baby. Oh, she got show.
Sei lá, eu quero um arma muito grande. Eu vi ele lá na frente. Sendo que eu não conhecia o Didi, não. Já fui conhecer lá já ouvia só falar dele, que ele era aquilo, mas eu fui ver ele pessoalmente lá. E na próxima vez que eu fui, ele já não estava lá, que já falaram que era para me deixar a droga aqui no ramal, que eu não quis ir. Eu peguei, falei assim, olha, o que eu posso fazer é pegar a droga no Rio e deixar pro mototáxi e levar.
Só isso?
Foi, que eu fiz, deixei pro mototáxi e o mototáxi levou, porque eu tenho morro de medo pequeno.
Por favor, deixa eu falar, eu vou falar no programa, né, cara? Eu vou falar. O Didi tá lá no ramal.
Senta aí, caralho.
Por favor, eu tô com muito medo.
Senta no chão.
Por favor, eu tô com muito medo. O Didi tá lá no ramal do Arapari. Se vocês quiserem, eu levo.
Fala, caralho. Fala como é que vai morrer agora. Fala. Fala tudo.
No, she's not. Kal halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom Yasharallah. This is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 22, and it reads, How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Enter stage right. Feminism. That is the wicked philosophy to blame for all this. Black woman must be God. We were born out of the cradle of Asia, the womb of Africa, so she She gotta be the Most High nonsense. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? Which is simply a metaphor for Israel as we are married to the Most High Power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Jeremiah 6:2, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Because of our wickedness, the men of the Lord are now in this life subject to woman's authority. A new thing, because in the ancient world, women were subservient to men. Going back to Genesis 3:16, and Eve and her punishment, really subject to Yahweh's desire and will. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Jeremiah 31:22 as it continues. A woman shall compass a man. Compass meaning to turn about or around, aside or back or towards, go about or around, to surround, to encircle, to change direction. Now let's go to the Etamon Online Dictionary to help prove this notion can never make sense spiritually, fundamentally, logistically, scientifically even. Never had, never will make any type of sense. And it says this. Also God, Old English God, supreme being, deity, the Christian God, meaning the God or power of the Hebrew Israelites. Nowhere in the scriptures does it refer to or make reference to Eve being the Most High, everlasting, eternal. Godlike and being the Most High power is two different things. Image of a godlike person, which was never the inference presented by the so-called conscious, really unconscious community. Even the 5% say the black man is God, the maker, owner, cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, and God of the universe. Nowhere in the lessons did I ever read the woman, the earth, who is like water, swift and interchangeable in her way, as well as her emotions, was the supreme being. From Proto-Germanic Guthen, source also of Old Saxon, Old Frisian, Dutch God, Old High German Got, Old Norse Gwa, Gothic Gup, which is of uncertain origin, perhaps from Proto-Indo-European Gut, that which is invoked. Source also of Old Church Slavonic Zovo, to call, Sanskrit Uta, invoked, an epithet of Indra, from root Gui, if I'm saying that right, to call, invoke. The notion could be divine entity summoned to a sacrifice. What does the scripture say of a divine entity? Entity meaning a thing with distinct and independent existence. Divine being in the sense of God or like a God. 1 Corinthians 8:6. But to us there is but one God. God meaning power, who, by the way, his name is Yahweh, which translates to he is, or he exists, meaning he is everything that is in existence. But to us there is but one power. The who? The Father, of whom are all things. Not some things, not little things, not a single thing, all things. And we in him, and one, Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, by whom are all things, and we by him being the first spirit ever created, by who? The Father of spirits. Hebrews 12:9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reference. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Ain't no mother of spirits, lady of spirits, madam of, woman of, empress or goddess of. I don't see none of that in there, okay? And where exactly is Yahweh Shai's hand in all of this? Colossians 1:16. Really, we should start at 15. Who is the image of the invisible power? I'll read it verbatim. who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things, there's that all things again, created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence. For it pleased the who? The Father, that in him should all fullness dwell. And having made peace through the blood of his cross, by him to reconcile all things unto himself, by him, I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven. Sorry, Sister Waukesha, ain't no she, mama, her, lady, or woman power. Ain't no black girl magic in there. The black woman is God's spiel. It's just another one of the beast philosophies Dum Dum helped usher in under the guise of Egyptology. Google the father Egyptology and see who pops up. And African American studies is not that far off. Two small hat anthropologists invented that mess, which most of you 2/3 think is the answer and your saving grace. Esau used these pseudo sciences to further confuse and subdue the earth, starting with you Hebrew Israelites and you women out there. Hotepin is leading the charge. 1 Timothy 2:11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. A woman is supposed to learn in silence and subjection, meaning servitude, starting with the house of David. She serves the Lord by serving her Lord in silence. Ergo, a woman does not have any authority over the man. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. Out here talking about the psycho paranormal temperature of God's spiritual uterus. Girl, shut up. I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to what? Be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, meaning her existence was never one of independence. Genesis 2:23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Ergo, Eve came out of the womb of man. So therefore, how could she be God? And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Meaning, woman shall be saved in childbearing, having offspring by the elect men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai in the kingdom. And anyone teaching otherwise, going against the doctrine and the basic principles of the scriptures, like that dude talking about the lineage doesn't come from the man and yada yada this and yada yada that. I forget the crony's name. He's one of Dum Dum's minions. He just doesn't know it yet. Anyone teaching against the basic principles of the scriptures is in a spirit of rebellion. And rebellion is as the sin of what? Witchcraft. Bombshells, literally casting speaking spells. That's all that is. Luke 11:27. And it came to pass as he spake these things, the he being Yahushua, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, Blessed is the womb that bare thee, and the paps which thou hast sucked. But he said, yeah, rather, blessed are they that hear the word of the heavenly Father and keep it. Here is a prime example of the vibration being sent out into the earth today, common amongst feminists and the LGBTQRSTUV community. Really, it comes down to the creation being revered over the creator. Inside of that is the constantly repeated anecdote of pride in womanhood and female independence that lends to denying Yahweh's existence and power, pursuant to Romans, the first chapter, I believe it's verse 25, which also speaks to the praising of woman because she's a woman, especially if she's single in her raising of children. Present day, it's more than okay to act like men ain't shit and the best way to raise a child for a woman is by her own. And I'm not talking about commending a woman who has no support system, struggling to raise her children the best way she can because the father has chosen not to be there. I'm talking about because you may not like certain traits and the idiosyncrasies of the person you laid down with. Never mind the fact he has a new girlfriend. It's okay to remove the father from that child's life. Never do they speak on the women who use their children as a tool to hurt the father, or how the courts, especially with we Hebrew Israelites, how the courts really, Esau likes to swoop in and strip so-called men of color of their dignity and rights simply because she said so. This is Isaiah 3:12, and it says this: As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. Children is a metaphor for the so-called white man. He is our child because he came out of us, and now he rules over us as well as giving power over us to women. Our women through feminism, women's lib, female emancipation, when emancipate really means to transfer from one master to another. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and to destroy the way of thy paths, meaning the causing of confusion and instituting of error in natural order, lending to the corruption of judgment and distorting the psyche of the sexes. Never was it good for a woman to rule over us men. Now, Esau has set up a system that empowers women so that she is exalted over man. Why? So that he can remove the man who is the protector of the quote-unquote nuclear family. So he can destroy that so-called black nuclear family and pervert the right way our women and children should go. Now let's go to Sirach 25 and 19, because Esau knows exactly who he's granting the power to. Sirach 25 and Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Sirach 25 and 19 says this: All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Ergo, there is no wickedness, no evil act like that of a woman's. Eve being the weaker vessel. E Dum-Dum knows this very well. Sirach 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Meaning, your woman ain't supposed to be free to roam about and do things that men do. Give me liberty or give me death has no business in the hands of a woman who loves to gallivant. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, because when a man marries a woman, marry meaning have sex, which is another lesson. Nevertheless, they are entwined and become one. And give her a bill of divorce and let her go. 2 Ezra 5 and 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. You seen Drew Paul in the opening clip smack the God particle out of single black female. And what did the other woman say in the background? Oh, that's a man, baby. Somebody, I guess, somebody didn't get the memo. Genesis 30:1 says this: And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, Give me children or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, we'll read it verbatim again. Am I in God's stead, who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? So if Rachel was God, would she have pleaded with Father Jacob to give her children? The truth is, a woman can't even conceive unless it's sanctioned, unless she has received the blessing from the Most High Power, Yahweh. Was Jacob a God? Yes. The man was head up by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, to be a God, meaning ruler of his household. Let's go to Job 2:9. And it says this, Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. Speaking to the many afflictions suffered by Job at the hands of the spiritual demon Satan, in which Yahweh allowed the spiritual demon Satan to have his way with Job, proving his uprightness. And Job is symbolic of Israel. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. If Job's wife was God, wouldn't she have relieved Job of his duress? Wouldn't she have cured him? Would she have told him to curse her out, or her likeness supreme to her being, and die? That sounds like modern day woman, not the Most High. If Job was not a god, meaning ruler of his dominion, would he have spoken to his wife in that way? I mean, think about it yourself. But you know what? You can't get around pussycat. Inside joke. When a man and a woman means servant, by the way, a female servant or attendant. Go ahead and look it up yourselves. When a man and a woman come together to create life, even in a test tube or a petri dish, which one of the participants decides the gender of their offspring? Whoever that is, he is God. Let's close with this. This is Isaiah chapter 32:9, because you women are really starting to catch the hell that speaks to the wicked vibration that has long been permeating throughout the earth. The idea of woman being treated like a delicate flower is dead. It died with chivalry. Isaiah brings to mind Isaiah 47:1, which speaks to the virgin daughter of Babylon, meaning America, no longer being regarded as tender or delicate. So what is to be expected of the woman drunk from her philosophies? She in her confused state is gonna feel. She gonna feel that fire too. Isaiah 32:9. An elder apostle Gabar recently broke this down just to land back off of him. And it reads, Rise up, ye women that are at ease. And boy, oh boy, is Eve comfortable in her unrighteousness, twerking and shaking her ass without a care in the world, proud to be called all kinds of bitches and sluts, no matter how many times she is used as a punching bag or a trampoline. She thinks she deserves respect. If I gotta hit you, I'd rather quit you, love. And he beating your ass and you still can't get it, then he ain't beating you to correct you. He trying to knock your freaking head off. And there ain't nothing you could do with that. Furthermore, nowhere at all is today's independent woman, not all, but for the most part, concerned with righteousness, the prophecies coming to pass, and the judgments for their evil acts being handed down by the Lord. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. The men of the Lord who the Most High set up to rule are teaching you the right way to go as ordained by the Most High. But you've taken on the attitude of Esau, pride in self, and separate from the power and will of the Most High. Isaiah 32:10. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail. The vintage not only speaking to the lavish lifestyle that you're used to, but also the end to the government subsidies and programs being afforded to you. Never mind you being semi-conscious and saying you're not going to take the secret sauce and you ain't going to have the hotshot Salakia be given to your children either. If you outside of the truth, you are in serious trouble. When shit hits the fan, women who are used to this queendom we are being forced to live in, where they have been placed on a pedestal and pursuant to that are being catered to, will find themselves in the hands of the enemy. Forget going for takeout. You will be the takeout if you ain't under the protection of the Lord or a man that the Lord has set up. The enemy will use you in whatever way he pleases. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth, Salakia, upon your loins. As a token of what? For mourning. Instead of serving a man of your liking for righteousness' sake, prepare yourselves for servitude to these heathens who just don't give a damn. No more living at ease or in pleasure for you. Elder Apostle Gabar was right. This is judgment manifesting itself and taking hold. I mean, what more can I say then? Here come the pain. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Shem Rakak Wadash. You women need to repent now. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teaches 100% truth and Ruel. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Remember, no test, no jab, and damn sure, don't take that chip. Shalom Yasharala. Salutations to you women still listening and learning. Kwame Yasharala Wa Abba Babal.